For now, let's throw it over to Prad. See everybody. Ciao.
See you in a sec.
What is up, everyone? It's Friday. It's over. Markets closed. The casino's shut down. Well, maybe the after hours still going, but the casino's shut down. It's time to have some party. Time to crack open some drinks. As always, you know, on Fridays over here, we're trying to do something new for you guys. Bring on the members of the show. Bring on the members from the floor. Ask them a couple questions. Learn more about them, and then maybe we, you guys feel more connected with us through that way, and we feel more connected through you that way also. So if you guys have any questions for our special guest that's coming up very soon over here, feel free to throw it in the chat for us. We're gonna have Bears vs Bulls in the chat, so he's gonna take those questions, throw it up in DMs for me on Twitter, and I'll be able to read them. So welcome to Official Party, the official after party with Prad, and drum roll please. Brrr, we got Sharif. What's up, Sharif? How
Thanks
you been?
for having me on, Bradley. Good, man. It's been a long day filling in for Brendo, but happy to be here and happy to be on your show.
Hey, man, I love it. I love it. You know, I missed sitting next to you today, so it was this kind of fills in that gap. Right? We had Max, we had Obi, so we didn't have you. We'll be that way till the end of next week, I believe.
Yeah.
And then you're gone.
Gone. I'm gone. I'm filling in for Brendo for a week. He comes back and takes over for me. Bradley, I gotta say though, man, I love the shirt. I didn't get a chance to mention the shirt, and I think the chat absolutely adores the shirt. Did you see the super chat earlier for the shirt? I just happened to see it real quick.
Didn't, but
yeah, solid look.
Appreciate it. Yeah, someone on the floor came out with this whole idea of Floral Fridays.
I like it.
Because they were probably tired of me screaming Free Fall Friday every Friday and it not taking place. So we got Floral Fridays now where people are planning to buy some new floral shirts. Sadly, this is my only one.
Okay.
So I have to now go to Winners or wherever it is and go buy more shirts just so I don't feel left out by only having this one green shirt. Next Friday, you're going to wear one?
If I'm invited to do it, I will be doing it.
It's a floor thing. Everyone, Sean, Neil, you guys are invited to do Floral Fridays too. Don't feel like it's only for the traders. Floral Fridays, everyone's invited to Floral Fridays. Even the chat's invited to Floral Fridays. Make sure you take a picture of your Floral Friday shirt, tag me, tag tradertv.live, and we'll repost all of the fun ones that we love seeing you guys do that stuff too. So go ahead, do that, Floral Fridays. Sharif, you are fairly before we do anything, how about we crack open some brewskis?
Absolutely. It is Friday. It is shut down. I am so down for a cold one. Bradley, thank you for bringing it on.
Would you like one, sir? No? So this is not sponsored by Heineken, but maybe one day it will be.
Yes, cheers,
maybe
Bradley.
one day it will be. Cheers,
Absolutely.
my friend. Cheers to the chat. Cheers to everybody who's got a drink in their hand and enjoying this next hour or so with us as we learn a little bit more about Sharif, the man, the mysterious Sharif that nobody knows about.
No, I'm definitely not mysterious. I talk up a storm. People are probably sick of hearing my voice, to be honest with you, Bradley.
I deny that statement, man. Come on, we love you, Sharif, especially that word, Kwadunk.
Oh,
come on. You have no idea how I'm still trying to create an animation. I just don't know how I need to work it, but I'm trying to create some sort of an animation for Kwadunk.
You know whose job that is right now? Fabian. I went up to him yesterday. I'm like, Fabian, we need a Kwadunk. And he's like, we also need a Khwaboom.
Okay.
Right? Khwaboom, Kwadunk, and Oh Baby.
Oh Baby.
Are in the pipeline en route. So shout out to Fabian and his skills. I know that was one of the things Brendo was looking for.
Indeed.
Animation skills. And my man has it plenty.
Yeah, I mean, he killed it with the Bogdanov one. That was a beautiful one. I mean, the idea was good, but the execution was better.
Yeah.
The execution was absolutely insane. We loved it. Sharif, so when did you join the floor?
So, May of last year, 2022. I was the May class. I think the first class before me was the April class. So we were the second class after the COVID lockdown when you guys started hiring, right? And then I was basically the class before Max.
Okay.
Right? And then, that was it. It's been a year and a little bit now, man.
A year and a little bit. I mean, time just flies by. It honestly just feels like yesterday to me. I'll be honest. It doesn't seem like it's been a year and a little bit to me. But hey, we've enjoyed your company this whole time. What is the next biggest thing coming up in Sharif's life?
Oh, goodness. You know, I didn't really want to burn this, but I'm trying to bamboozle a larger condo
Okay.
at the moment. That's what we're looking for.
I like
That's
it.
the move.
Are we looking in Toronto? Are we
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
in...
same neighborhood,
Okay.
everything. It's just, yeah, you know how these real estate prices are in the city. It's just, you know, you miss the top, and then all of a sudden you miss the bottom. I mean, all of a sudden you have a whole new high, right? The Toronto market waits for nobody.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. I mean, my parents just renovated their house, and I can see the price of our house just immediately shoot up, and I was like, wow, okay, so this is how this works? Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. Congratulations, Mom and Dad, on the new basement and so on.
But your parents have a big home, though.
Yeah, they have a pretty decent house. You've been to my house before. Yeah, I mean, they work their butt off for that. But it's not about my parents. This is about you, Sharif. Everyone knows, Sharif, that you previously were a lawyer.
Yeah.
And now, you know, you're a trader, you're a host, you got multiple faces over here on multiple hats over here at Trader TV Live. How was that transition from, you know, being a criminal lawyer, doing all that stuff, making that run back and forth, dealing with judges, to where now you're like, you know, dealing with the market, dealing with the stock or so on?
It's a completely different world. So first and foremost, there's no client relations in the trading game. That was one of the things that you really had to be good at, especially in litigation, because that's what I practiced. So I did criminal, family, and civil, with mostly with an emphasis on criminal. Have a good weekend, Sean. Sean Katina, the Katina man, heading home. So that was my focus. It was a lot of client relations, so that was what you really had to be good at. That's one thing that you don't have at all in the trading game. The number two thing was, you know, if you did the work, if you read the cases, if you read the book, there was going to be an outcome, and the outcome was immediate. If you were more prepared, you were always going to come out on top most times. In the trading game, it's not so much like that. I mean, the learning curve is not linear. It's kind of sporadic, kind of like the Intel chart, so to speak. So coming to trading and not looking at it in the same linear way that you looked at as in your education, Bradley. So that's kind of really the difference between the two for me.
Was there anything that, like, you're like, that's it, I'm making the switch? Was there like any big event? For me, there was, like, you know, getting fired from my previous job, and then getting yelled at my mom and dad, being like, go find another job, go find another job. And then that was a switch where I was like, you know what? My grandpa used to be a trader. My dad is a trader. Why don't I start becoming a trader, but on a real scale? Because these guys were trading at home and didn't really go the way that we do it over here. So I was like, let me try to apply to a job that teaches me and so on. So my switch was getting fired from a job that I was good at, but where things happen. So what was that switch for you? You're like, that's it. I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. I am now a trader. It was
a combination of both, like me being really not wanting to do client relations much anymore, and COVID. Really, COVID setting in, having an opportunity to be really at home all the time, having hours and hours to try to, you know, find a new craft, and that's really what it came down to. And when you had that work from home mentality, you start looking for things to do. What's the side hustle? And 3 years later, here it is, man.
Here you are, baby. Here you are.
COVID, I think, changed a lot for a lot of people. I don't know how you feel about yourself.
I mean, 100%, no doubt. You can see it every single day in front of you, how, like, people don't want to go back to work, and jobs are, like, opening up, and inflation. COVID changed a lot of things, right? A lot of things in front of us, without doubt. I have a question here, which basically comes from ChatGPT, obviously. And I'm going to read it word to word because I really like this question. In the legal world, evidence is crucial, right? Without evidence, you can't put anyone away. So in the legal world, evidence is crucial. How do you approach researching and gathering data to support your trades and market analysis like you would in a court case?
I think by stats. It's a stat game, because in this game, you're not going to hit every one, right? Whereas if you follow the law in most cases, you know, unless there's a factual difference that differentiates this case from the last, you're going to get the same result. May not happen in this case. So you got to understand that it's not on a per trade basis, it's on a collective. So if you're successful 66% of the time, fantastic. 55% of the time, whatever your edge is. So that's where I think it's the quantitative difference between the two.
Right. Okay, I get that. Yeah. I mean, I talk about tracking my trades all the time, journaling, and the stats that help me. So that's a very well put answer over there. Do you track your trades?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I journal. I keep the following data.
Take notes, chat.
Yeah, I keep the sector, why I was trading that sector, or specifically that stock, what the catalyst was, my entry, my exit, my stop, my profit target, and what the chart essentially looked like, why my price targets were there that day. And then I talk about my emotions after the fact. I write my emotions. Here's how I felt in the beginning, mid, and end. Here's what I could have done better.
Awesome.
It sucks to do it every day, especially when you've lost, because you don't want to really relive those moments. But the data, it's all about the data.
Yeah. I 100% agree about sucking it and not wanting to do it, because I've been guilty of it many times. But it's like going to the gym, right? Just do it. Even if you don't feel like going to the gym, forget about what you feel like.
Absolutely.
Just go get it done, because that's what a disciplined man would do.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to make trading a job, then just be that disciplined person. Even if you lose, just do it. I'm talking to myself right now out loud.
I agree 100%.
And I'm talking to the chat too about this. Like, just be that disciplined trader, be that disciplined human, get that task that needs to be done at hand, get it over with. And what I noticed when I started making that changes in my head was every single journal that on a negative day actually impacted me in a positive way the next way, because writing down my thoughts, putting down my ideas and executions and so on would then teach me, like, okay, you clearly tilted here, you clearly did this, you clearly did that. And then my thoughts are still thinking about those trades the next day. And if I see myself doing any mistake that I wrote about, I nip it in the bud, I stop it right there. So journaling has helped me in that
agree,
ways.
100%.
What ways has, another question over here is, trading can be very lonely.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But being a YouTube host, you get to talk to thousands of people in the chat. Being a trader at a prop firm, you get to interact with traders all across the trading scale, professionals, noobs, which are the entry people, and even in the people in the middle and so on. So you get to interact with everyone. Has that benefited you compared to trading from home when you were, still trading on your own account, or has that hindered you because you have so much Information is coming at you from all angles?
Very good question, man. I mean, fantastic, because I can say that being on the floor a year, I feel so much more knowledgeable as a trader than what I thought I was a knowledgeable trader a year ago. The one that traded from home for 2 years. Thought they knew everything, knew nothing, essentially. Came here, got a completely different picture of the market. So in one sense, it's been fantastic to be on the floor. In another sense, being on the show, you're forced to really be less impulsive. You have an audience watching you.
Eyes on you.
Eyes watching you. You got to justify your trade, why you're getting in, where you're getting out, where you're taking profit. Whereas if you're at your desk, you can be way more impulsive. There's no eyes on you. You can be punching like a jerk, right? And so being on the show has helped. Now, to bring up your point, Wayner's got a style. Max has got a style. You've got a style. Sean and Neil obviously have styles. So much different information. It's an information overload at times, and that's why you see a lot of guys with their headphones on.
I'm always with my headphones on.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so, that part of it can be very overwhelming, but I think that the net positive outweighs the negative.
Yeah, outweighs it for sure. I would agree with every single thing you said there. Anytime a trader on the floor has complained about the noise levels coming out, I would always just be like, get a headphones or get out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get headphones or get out, because you're working with a bunch of other people and no one else is complaining. Everyone else has headphones, right? So I understand that how for the job that you need to be in your zone, and for some people that might be quietness. For them, prop firm might not be for you, but you can always watch channels like ours, still have that community, but have your space at the end of the day, right?
Exactly.
People in the chat, once again, if you have any questions, for the big man Sharif over here. Maybe ask him his workout routines or anything. Feel free, so throw some questions in the chat. In the meantime, I'll go to this one over here. Sharif, we all have guilty pleasures, right? What is your guilty pleasure in trading? Something that you know you shouldn't do. Like tilting into a trade when you know you shouldn't be doing it. What is your guilty pleasure in trading?
Okay, so I don't know if I want to call it my guilty pleasure, Bradley, but something that I seem to always want to do is to be able to time these small cap cappers. And you know, it's just it's a fool's game. It's a data game. So if you're able to, you know, be profitable, whatever, 50% of the time, fantastic. But you know, don't get emotionally involved. And I do get emotionally involved sometimes. And I gotta, you know, draw myself back and say, this is just a trade. The small cap cappers, because they have so much potential return, to be honest with you, can be at $2 and then in a few minutes it can be at 8.
I don't know how you do it, Sharif. Small caps scare the crap out of me.
I've stopped, really, to be honest. You see me now. Futures, big caps, a little bit hands off.
Yeah, yeah, you've actually changed a lot now that I think about it. You used to be very, very small caps. You also were very big into earnings plays after hours, and we have earnings coming up in a week.
I can't wait for that, man.
Talk about it.
I got to tell you, look, earnings plays have been fantastic. I had this kind of a strategy that I was trying to employ. Essentially what it was trying to determine if this particular stock was one prone to wicking down and then wicking up, or wicking up and then wicking down, rather than taking a one-directional move. What I would do is I'd go back and look at the 3 or 4 or 5 different earnings releases on a per minute, on an even per 5-10 second basis for each particular stock. So, for example, Micron had earnings this week. Micron was one that I took last year when I was doing this type of play. Essentially what I do, like I said, I go back to the 4 or 5 different earnings releases for Micron. I try to determine, number 1, was there enough liquidity? Are there enough shares? Number 2, what was the implied volatility, up or down? And number 3, did it wick up, then wick down? Some were indecisive. Sometimes they wicked up, then wicked down. Sometimes they were one directional. And so, again, it goes back to being a data game. Something I didn't see through, but something that has a lot of potential just because of the implied volatility, Bradley, in the move after market, right? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, a lot of options players set themselves up for YOLO plays.
Exactly.
So if earnings is, you know, you have a lot of YOLO players on earnings, why don't we see where they're positioning themselves? Because all that information is free. Look at that information and set yourself off that trade. And then shout out to Options AI, who actually hooked us up with an account. We see all of the data, all of the information about where options are positioning themselves. Nick Garcia from chat with the $10 super chat. Coming in with a question.
Go.
Sharif, not Sharif, Sharif. Just playing.
No, but a lot of people
It says CHARIF. Sharif.
Yeah.
I'm a funded futures trader, kind of like you, but I am actively pursuing my law degree while I am an airplane mechanic. What steered you away from helping people? Do you still take cases?
I don't. And I didn't like the area of law that I practiced. I didn't feel that I was contributing positively to society. Criminal law is a bit of, good cop, bad cop game. And what I'm saying is you sometimes are defending guilty people, and then sometimes you're actually defending innocent people. And there's a bit of this and a bit of that. But it wasn't for me at the end of the day. But that's not all law is like that. Real estate law, commercial law, they don't have these, questionable ethical questions. So if you're doing that, I wish you all the power. I mean, my suggestion to you would be stay away from criminal law. But again, up to you, of course. Intellectual property, especially if he has mechanical engineering or airplane engineering, there seems to be a lot of interest at intellectual property law firms for people who actually have the technical skill.
Business,
Exactly.
I like
because they can actually figure out how to formulate the legal protection because they know how it works. So the technical skill seems to be in demand in the legal profession. Yeah,
makes a lot of sense. Tala Kurashi coming in with a question. I have a question. How to control emotions and be disciplined? Can you share your opinions, please? I'm a new trader and I started in December 2022.
Can you say that again? Sorry.
How do you control emotions and discipline? Can you share your opinions? New trader from December 2022.
Yeah. So the emotions thing, super complicated. It requires a lot of journaling, and that's why I do a lot of journaling. I'll tell you personally my experience and how I deal with it. Initially, when I get into a trade, whether I have high conviction in it or not, my heart rate seems to elevate and be higher in the initial and early portions of the trade. I'm able to get my heart rate under control, in the later, early to mid part of the trade. That's when I start to think more clearly. So I try to take very few decisions early on in the trade when my heart rate is highest. Once my heart rate has come down, and I
monitor that on the go?
can feel it.
Okay.
I can feel it, but I don't actually look at my watch.
Plus you like work out a lot, so you know how to sense it, and you know the clock per minute and stuff.
Feel it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And once I do that, I'm kind of the opinion that if you have a more calm state of mind, you're able to make better decisions. And so that's kind of for me, it's a time thing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this before, but there was a joke. I guess this comes from like the internet meme Reddit places. You need to strap a heart monitor to you when you're trading, and if your heart rate is getting higher, you just close position.
I've heard about
something like that. I don't know. I like your method better because when my heart rate's higher, I make less decisions. When my heart rate's lower, I'll make the more decisions. Makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, oh, my heart rate's higher, let me make the most important decision, flatten all trades.
But that you're so emotionally connected to the trade, it feels natural to do it like that, right? But only when you look at it after, you're like, right, maybe I should have done that.
For someone like me, Sharif, like you know this, I am very animated. I have a lot of emotions throughout the day. You hear me screaming, sad, yelling, angry, happy, all of it throughout the day. You see a package of emotions on me, which is not something necessarily good for a trader. I've learned to manage a lot of it, but still it bleeds. What would your tip be for someone like me? Maybe there's other prads out there, I hope not, in the world. But what would your tip be for other prads out there who are
I think
trying
you're
to do
just
the same
perfect the way you are, bro.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna. No, you can't try to be something different. You're a personality, and that's just the way it is. You know what I mean?
But you still need to maintain something for the trading side, right? You gotta be disciplined. There's another question here from a viewer, Adam Calder. What is the number one skill or trait that one needs? And I said mine was discipline. Because forget about patience. You can have patience or not have patience, but if you have the discipline to have patience, then that's what beats it, right? So if you need discipline over anything,
I agree.
In gym, you need discipline.
100%.
In trading, you need discipline.
You know why? I think you're absolutely right, because if you have discipline, you will acquire that skill.
Exactly.
Because you're going to force yourself every day, and you're going to figure out methods and tactics and tricks.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't agree with you. Discipline and patience, I think, are the two things. The one that I lacked the most was the patience. And I think, to be honest with you, Arun is really the one who kind of gave me what I feel the best strategy so far. And his was, look, you're going to miss out on some of the trade. Allow the trade to develop, especially at key areas. Wait for the right area, number one. Wait for your key level. And then two, don't just get in because the price was triggered, especially on futures trades. Wait to see how it trades. If that means giving up 0.2, 3, or 4, that's the way it is, right? You're giving up a couple of points or a couple of pennies, dollars, whatever, for a confirmation. And I think that's where I lacked. I was more level specific rather than trade dynamic specific, and I paid the price for that a lot. So Arun, I think, gave me the best advice with respect to that.
Arun has helped and touched, maybe I should not say touched. Arun has helped a lot of people on this floor, without doubt. I mean, when I sat on the host seat before you were there, Arun hosted with me once. And he helped me a lot. I mean, Arun and I used to have this running joke back and forth about getting hit with slippers, because back in Indian houses, you get hit with slippers and belts.
Yeah.
So everyone used to make that joke like, hey, Arun, throw a slipper at Brad because he's acting up right now.
I remember that.
All right, so once Arun and I sat next to each other, and man, did he change my trading in that 1 3-hour session, because it felt like I was being literally mentored and taught like
Yeah.
in a tutoring session.
Yeah.
It felt like that. It wasn't like I was online to millions of viewers watching me. I was at a tutoring session and I was getting all these free lessons,
man,
right? It was
yeah, man.
amazing. He absolutely revamped my trading to the point where
I gotta
even
agree.
now sometimes I send him screenshots and I go, "Are you proud of me, Arun?" And he goes, "You could do better." I'm like, "Ah, I thought I
Yeah.
almost got his prize."
He keeps you wanting that.
All you
There
always
you
make
go,
keeps you
yeah.
wanting, keeps you hungry.
Exactly.
Right? Keeps you motivated. I like that. What's an inside day? Please elaborate. Chad's
Look,
trolling
he's
over
right,
here.
he's right. Look.
Chad's trolling here.
Essentially, this is the bigger candle. This is the smaller candle. It's an inside.
Chad's trolling. Chad's trolling. Sharif, when doing the transition, do you ever have doubt trading might be a bad idea because having a bad day in trading? How do you recover from it? I'm currently in the transition and having doubt.
Oh yeah, you got to have a short-term memory. You really need to forget, not forget, but you need to forget the feelings, the bad feelings that you're associated with losses, and somehow find a way to extract the lessons. You can adopt a mentality of win or learn rather than win or lose. I've tried to, a lot easier said than done, goes without saying, but essentially I try to forget the feelings, the pain associated with the loss, and I hate to use this expression, becoming numb, because that's not what you want to be. You don't want to be a numb individual, but you have to look at it as a bigger picture. It cannot be, you cannot look at trades on a piece by piece, a piecemeal basis. It does not work that way. It's the collective, it's the numbers. And so if you're able to forget the feelings of the bad trade and focus and work towards having that winning ratio, I think that's it. That's how I try to deal with it anyway, Brad.
I like it, man. Amazing tips and information over here. I don't know if you remember this one day, but we were sitting outside on the ledge over there talking about your criminal lawyer history and how you've had to defend people and so on. I'm not going to make you bring up that story because I don't think it's appropriate for the show.
Yeah.
But what kind of like memories have you made in your past 1 year of being here, being on the show? The question basically comes from the ChatGPT again.
Innumerable.
The ChatGPT question basically goes, trading and hosting a YouTube show must have come with some funny or embarrassing moments. Care to share a hilarious blooper or a mishap from your trading journey?
Oh, well, okay. The one that sticks to my mind is my first show. Probably August 15th. I don't know, something
you
like
know
that.
my date?
Yeah,
That's
something like
awesome.
that. You want to know why? Because I think I posted something to my Instagram about it at the time, so I saw the date there. But yeah, I was sweating so much was I nervous that the guys sitting where Fabian and Romina are right now had to politely come up and give me like a paper towel to wipe my head, and Sean was nice enough to get me a water bottle of ice cold water to cool myself down. That's probably my worst performance, and like I gotta say, flustered I was. But the best times I think were when I got the Cowboys jersey from the Playmaker.
Shout out
May he
Playmaker,
rest in peace. And the other time was when Luca and I wore the Sesame Street costumes. I, Big Bird, and Luca, Cookie Monster, because he's the king of scalp.
The Cookie Monster to the Big Bird is actually in the office today.
Remember
he's
that?
right there. He's hanging out
Is
right
Luca
now.
right here?
He's hanging out
my
right
God,
now.
I'm very
He's here.
excited. I'm very excited to see Luca.
So yeah, we're gonna.
He can see him. I can't. There's a big pole in the way. Luca is in the house, people.
Yep. We'll go grab some drinks with them.
Yeah.
We'll hang out with them for sure. The boys are in the house. Ian and Luca. Shout out to them. The legends. Then they're still legends. They haven't gone
There
from
you go.
that
See
board.
the chat reacting immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Scalp Demon.
Scalp Demon.
Scalp Demon. The chat loves Scalp Demon. They know him. I picked all the best questions that I found from ChatGPT. There were a lot of garbage questions, like the one I told you earlier. That was a horrible question, ChatGPT. You should need to come up with a better one. But I'm going to try winging up some questions over here because I'm not really prepared for this.
That's
right?
all good.
But I do have something over here from Nicole Harris, a $5 super chat.
Nicole Hotlana.
Sharif, Would you get married and move to Atlanta? I love the show for earnings. The market transfers wealth from the impatient to the patient. Apple and MBI.
I couldn't agree with you more. Nicole, shout out to Nicole, good friend of the shows. Nicole, I love Atlanta, and I know that the houses down there are absolutely massive and much better priced than the nonsense that we have here in Toronto. I'm talking about these beautiful estate homes that you guys have down there. Not to mention, of course, the better weather, but I got to shout out, I love living here. I've lived here all my life and my parents live here. So I don't know if I could make that move proudly. My sister already moved on my parents. I can't do it. So yeah, shout out to Nicole though.
Let's be real. You only love Atlanta because of the Rippers.
Rippers? Atlanta? I don't know what he's talking about, guys.
Never mind.
I don't know what he's talking about, guys.
Good. That's the right way to put it. That's the right way to put it. I love YYZ. I mean, look, I'm not a fan. I'm not against Toronto. I always said I love Toronto. I like my seasons, my cold weather. I love my cold weather. But a couple of days ago, I saw an Instagram video of Las Vegas's hockey playoff season. Their hockey stadium literally has a swimming pool outside of it.
Yeah, T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah, where people just sitting there watching the hockey game.
It's right next to New York.
Like, what? Why can't Toronto be this cool? Like, our weather sucks.
I know.
But I still need that weather.
Yo, I know.
Still need that weather.
I gotta tell you though, but Bradley, would you agree that we have about 5 or 6 usable months in the year now?
Yeah,
Can we be out in May?
Yeah.
And you can be out till October?
Something like that.
Yeah. When I was growing up,
Nah, it was
closer.
closer.
It was a lot less than that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm sure that if you want another one, help yourself,
No, I'm
please.
good, thanks.
You got to drive?
Yeah.
The man's got to drive. We'll talk about his car in a second before he's got to head out over here. But I'm sure all the female bodies in the chat are wondering, is Sharif single?
Yeah, of course. No marry.
No marriage?
No relationship. Too busy. You know, viewers of the show know that I run a business, right? So in addition to being here from really early on, I run a business outside of this. So between that, the gym, and losing money on the show, it's been hard to find a relationship at least. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, a good-looking man like you, you look like you could pick up 10 cars at once without problem.
I probably pull my back.
I'm sure you have no problem getting numbers, Sharif. So what does it take? What are we looking for in a woman?
Oh, wow, left field.
What are we looking for?
Somebody established and somebody who likes fitness.
Oh, okay. So she's gotta love gym.
Because so much of my life
100%.
has to do with that. If they don't see the same thing, there's probably going to be conflict.
100%.
Right?
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
Like it'll be awesome too, working out together.
These guys are killing it.
What are they doing over there? They're playing
Yeah.
golf. Danny Mers is playing golf and he's getting some shots in. We got a bunch of people here. They're enjoying it. The next question is, Sharif, let's see if the chat has any cool ones. When did you start working out, Sharif?
Oh, 18 years old.
18 years old.
Yeah.
And
full gym membership at 18. Before that, started 16 technically, was doing it wrong, was doing at-home workouts and the nonsense, but got a gym membership 18. Haven't taken a year off since that time. I'm 41.
Haven't taken a year off. That's what I was trying to bleed into next because, I during my high school days, we had a gym, a gym class and so on. And besides gym class, we had an actual gym class. Besides going to the weight training room and weight train with the not like playing sports or so on, right? Actual gym class. And I was there for a bit. Our teacher taught us a lot of cool things. We actually learned P90X that way.
I like that.
Right? And after that happened, because the access to gym from where I live right now was so far, it is now access to gym now is fine, but back then it was so far that I could not go to the gym. So obviously you could say Prad's making excuses, and I also agree Prad's making excuses. But during my journey, I've always had so many on and off sessions of working out. Mm-hmm. What got you to that point where you only took or not even a single year off?
I don't know. I just feel it's like an obsession. You don't know if you actually like doing it or you're possessed by your own routine, there are certain things that I do every day religiously. Working out is one of them, eating is another. And so it just becomes so programmed into you, you really just start incorporating it in your life, and I don't think about it twice. But for somebody starting off, I think, you know, there's a lot of different psychological assessments done about this, about how long it actually takes to adopt a routine, to make it part of yourself.
Like 8 weeks or something?
Yeah, right?
I think it's like 8
I've seen
weeks.
some stuff like that. But I think it's also progressive. You know, at 8 weeks, you may have like that initial link, and then 12, you have a bit more of a link. And it's just like an addiction that you pick up. Yeah. It gets stronger over time, right? And I think the gym is just like that.
I'll say for someone who has a very addictive personality, you know, that feeling that I get after finishing, you know, my Stairmaster or my cardio session or whatever it is, and then I go into the sauna, and then I do my sauna cold cycle that you taught me this, right? The sauna, cold shower, and then you're done for the for the gym session. That feeling that I get after the last cold shower and I'm you know going to put my clothes on and go home, it's like the best feeling in the world.
I agree.
Nothing beats that feeling.
I agree. And you have no idea how beneficial that is for your body, for your circulation, right? Like platelets build up around your heart, right? And by making sure that you circulate it and circulate it aggressively, you don't allow them to build up. Like you are basically investing in yourself. This is like going to pay dividends, baby. Trust me.
I love it. Let's go.
Trust me.
I love it. Speaking of dividends, do you have any dividend stocks in your long-term portfolio? If you don't, what would you get and why?
So I have a low-risk mutual fund. That's where the majority of my money goes. But I do have, as you guys know, my brokerage account with IBKR, where I have a little bit of money, and that is where I do the majority of my swing trading. But I actually don't have anything fundamental in that. All my fundamental holdings are in a mutual fund with, let's just leave their name out of it, because they haven't done that well lately, Pradley. So I won't put them on blast.
That's fine. That's fine. No problem at all. I'm actually looking to, you know, get more dividend stocks in my portfolio. I just don't know where to start just yet.
Apple.
I mean, I have Apple.
They pay
I have
dividend,
Apple.
yeah.
I have not a lot of shares. I have Apple. I also have TD Bank, Microsoft who pays dividends, Intel.
Do you have any telecom?
No.
You need to have a little bit of
Ecom?
telecom, yeah. Verizon.
Who? RIO?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
RealCan.
REAL.
RealCan, yeah.
Is it REAL?
RealCan. He's
Okay.
talking about RealCan.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's like a Canadian player.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting.
Yeah,
I think
so
oil, have a little bit
oil
of oil
stocks.
paying.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
You know what, Sharif? Here's a question.
Okay.
You recently smacked a meta long on your swing trading account that, you know, every day we heard, pump it, right? Until it went to a 250.
Yeah, got rid of it.
What is your next big meta trade?
I don't know, man. I've been talking about Lee. All right, let's. Are we able to pull
Yeah,
up
I
the
can show your
chart?
charts, yeah.
All right, so Lee Auto.
Is that
look,
you?
I
This is
am
you. Nope.
waiting for. Yeah, let me pull up the actual chart here on Lee Auto. Look, this is not financial advice. You guys know how we work around here. We're speaking off the cuff, but Lee Auto impressed me in two regards. Number one, they controlled costs. Number two, they're talking about between 50 to 80,000 deliveries of EVs, not hybrid mixed with EVs, just electric vehicles per quarter this year. We're talking about 8 times 4. That's 320,000 vehicles possibly at the best case scenario by the end of full year 2023. Look, we're not at highs. $50 essentially, that's the kind of the high that we almost made back around mid-November 2020 when the EVs were all the rave. And then July, we also made another big high there, breaking through 40. We're at 36. It seems like a more stable ascent. But here's the thing, guys. Here's what I'm going to say. Don't buy in until they prove themselves next time around. We had one good delivery this year where they actually delivered 35,000 vehicles. They projected between 50 and 80. Let's hold them to it. Let's see what Q2 brings.
Yeah, man, Lee Auto is what we're talking about. I just need to make sure the cameras are on the right angles. Okay, we are on the right
Sorry,
angles.
I didn't have the ticker on there.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Lee Auto is a good call. I actually gave Lucid as a call, and I should have probably went in it myself, and I'm still sleeping on the stock. I'm not sure why. I think I'm bullish on Lucid the way you are on Lee, but Lee actually makes cars.
They do. Yeah.
Whereas Lucid,
well, they make cars, but they're just expensive.
do they make cars? I've yet to see a single one.
So at Yorkdale, they actually have a store. Yeah, and the store has this test driving car that they drive around the mall when anybody wants to test drive the car.
That's probably the only one in Canada.
It is ridiculously ugly. The color that they chose is like hideous. It's this champagne brown. You want a better color to attract some attention. I mean, that's how I'd feel if I was a sales manager there. So yeah, and Bradley, have you been inside one of these things?
No.
They're all
You
LCD
said screens
screens
everywhere? Yeah.
All I'm thinking about is GPUs when I'm in that car.
Yeah, awesome, man. GPUs, Garmin, go long?
Good question.
Garmin go long? Or Samsung? I mean,
Good
Samsung
question,
is the
yeah.
world leader of making screens.
Yeah,
right?
they are. With the OLED, is it now? The OLED?
I think so, yeah. I mean, they make the big SoFi screen that has, it's made by Samsung. The world's largest screen
the
is
one
made
in
by Samsung.
LA.
Yeah. Yeah, LA, the SoFi Stadium. That's right. And shout out to SoFi today for absolutely destroying me on that short, because the shorts, it halts at 8.
What'd you think about the Biden cancellation?
So I'm still so confused by it. I mean, so isn't that supposed to be a good catalyst for SoFi?
Don't you think?
Right, and then SoFi does what it does?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty confused about the whole thing. I mean, yeah, it sucks for students who are in big amounts of debt, who were forced to study what they didn't want to study by society, by parents, by whatever.
There's a lot of that.
And now they're stuck in trying to get a job in that same realm, and they're not getting it because the economy sucks.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So it's tough, man. It's tough. Am I for Biden's plan or am I against Biden's plan? I honestly don't know myself.
Look, I'm kind of mixed because I had to pay back my OSAP.
Right.
In case you guys are wondering, OSAP is essentially
Ontario Students Application Fund.
yeah, exactly.
Program, sorry.
Yeah, essentially it's financial assistance by the government, and you have to pay it back. And much in the same way like the States, you cannot bankruptcy your way out of this, right? So these debts follow you around no matter what. So you have to pay them off. And so I gotta tell you, I'm having paid them off, knowing that, I mean, that doesn't apply to us because Canada is obviously different, but it bothered me from that perspective. But I see the other side. I'm not oblivious to the other side. I know I was forced to take some dumb undergrad courses that I didn't want to take. Political science, I don't mean to disrespect anybody who took it. To me, it was a waste of time, okay? I could have been doing something else in finance and business, something more applicable to everyday life. So I know what it means to spend money you don't want.
Yeah, man. I mean, coming from a Brown family, which you also do, it's we only get few choices, which is like engineering, doctor, lawyer. So it makes 100% sense. And my family tried to make me like an engineer and whatnot too. I was just too stubborn, and I went, no, I'm gonna pick trading, right? But no, I get it. And thankfully to my parents, they were so nice to me and cordial with me. They're like, son, okay, if this is what you want to do, we'll support you. And shout out to my parents for that. I love you guys till the death of me. And that's what you need, support at some days behind trading. And I pray that everyone who's trying to pick this journey to becoming a trader has that support behind them. And if you don't, we're always here for you. The Trader TV Live family's got them, right, Sharif? Sharif, one last question here. Sure. Am I muted? Someone says Mike. Oh, Jesus Christ, you scared me. One last question here, Sharif. I asked Sean this question. Yeah. So if you were to go back in time, actually, how long have you been trading?
3 years in August.
So this question doesn't really apply to you that much because the question was to Sean, who's been trading for 22 years. If you go back in time, what would you tell yourself to get better quicker? So in your 3 years of time here,
I think my mic died.
Oh, your mic died. Sharif's mic died.
My mic died. Okay.
I'll go to my face while you maybe go grab your mic. Bang. While we get Sharif his mic over there, he's using Brendan's mic, and that mic dies a lot. We apologize for that. But Fabian, can you unmute Sharif's mic actually, and mute Brendo's? Thank you. But yeah, so the question to Sharif over here that we're asking is, if he went back in time 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, What has he learned in this 2.5 years that he could apply in the first 6 months of him joining the floor that could have accelerated his process to graduation? He's still on the process to graduation, if I'm correct. You know, so what can you tell yourself, Sharif, that you've learned in the last 2.5 years that you would wish you knew in the first 6 months of being here?
That's a tough one, actually, to be honest with you. I think patience is probably going to be the one that I want to choose the most. That I always struggled with the most. I think the discipline was there, the way to show up every day. I think what the discipline was lacking in was following the same trade every time. So if you're able to kind of stick with the game plan and
Mike still. Yo, Brando's mic's, Sharif's mic's muted.
exercise that patience.
Are you good? Did you check the?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay,
So should I repeat?
Restart,
yeah.
thank
So I
you.
think it's a tough one to answer, but I think basically the biggest thing for me is to keep your discipline and keep your patience, or add patience essentially. So use your discipline to add patience, because to me it was allowing the trade to develop that I had the biggest trouble with, and being here, being around these guys, seeing them do it live, you say to yourself, well, why can't I do the same thing? And that's kind of how you end up benefiting. So I think what I've taken definitely the most is the discipline and the patience.
Discipline, patience. I love it, Sharif. Thank you for
Thanks for
gracing
having
us
me
with
on, man.
this extra hour of work. I know you work very hard, ladies and gentlemen. You will not believe this man's here like bright early before anyone. And he's like here now till 5 o'clock and so on. So shout out to Sharif for everything that you do for Trader TV Live, for everything that you do for Day Trade the World, for everything that you do for this floor behind us.
Thanks, Bradley.
And hopefully you don't go anywhere anytime soon, right?
Staying right here.
Am I invited to your marriage?
100%. The whole floor will be invited.
Awesome.
Everybody.
Sharif, we love you. Chat, you know what to do. Smash that like. Actually, I got something for you. I got Sharif's sub. Oh, I don't.
Thank God.
He says thank
God.
God. Let's hit our favorite one.
Go.
Which one?
Hola.
Nah.
Oh.
Take this opportunity to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You won't be disappointed. There's lots of bangs.
I love the laugh.
Shout out
ladies
to the
and
Katita,
gentlemen. From the Trader TV Live family to your family, happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July. To all my Canadians, happy Canada Day. Go enjoy your long weekend. Trader TV Live family is back Monday morning, 8:30, and Monday is a half day, so we will be only live till 12 o'clock. I think, is it 12 or 1? 1 o'clock, and then after 1, I'm still going to be doing the after-hour stream, covering any after-hour movers. And Tuesday, day off, 4th of July. So once again, we got a nice little weekend coming up over here. Kiss your loved ones, and see you Monday. Good night.
Ciao. Thanks, Bradley. Thanks for having me on, bro. Oh my God, I'm gonna pee up a storm. Of course, bro. Thank you for having me. I want to see this guy.